Alright everybody, how we doing today? So something a little more interesting. Our last RT article for today. Rubbish. Correa blasts CNN for claim that Assange made embassy into command post for meddling. Former Ecuadorian President Rafael Correa has lashed out at CNN over a report claiming whistleblower Julian Assange turned the country's embassy in London into a command post for election meddling, branding the story rubbish. In the Monday report, CNN alleged that the WikiLeaks founder had used the Ecuadorian embassy where he lived under asylum for 7 years as a base from which to help Russia undermine the 2016 U.S. presidential election. CNN claimed Assange received in-person deliveries of potentially hacked materials and held suspicious meetings with Russians and world-class hackers. Really, yeah, because I was about to ask how exactly he was going to meddle. And technically, Assange is just a journalist. Why would he meddle with the election? What does he get out of it? What does he gain from that? I mean, money, fame, getting his name, stop his name from being besmirched, get his reputation back, regain his freedom. I suppose these would all be good, relevant reasons, but can CNN prove their claim? I seriously doubt it. I definitely believe that Julian Assange has been massively unnecessarily demonized and turned into a fake monster, sort of a faux boogeyman, much like Russia itself. A day later, CNN published comments from an interview with Correa in which he said that since Assange was posting information about Hillary Clinton and not Donald Trump, his whistleblowing amounted to manipulation. This is why Ecuador eventually cut off Assange's internet access in the embassy, Correa said. But he denied there was any cooperation between Assange, Russia, and Ecuador to interfere in the U.S. election. CNN, however, framed the story to fit with its conspiracy narrative of Assange and Quito aiding in Moscow's alleged interference, with its headline dramatically reading that Correa confirmed the election meddling in a tweet promoting the story. The network implied that Correa was aware of the alleged meddling and simply didn't care. The tweet reads, former Ecuadorian presidential Rafael Correa says his country was aware that WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange was interfering in the 2016 U.S. presidential election from Ecuador's embassy in London. Correa told RT on Wednesday that CNN's original story about the embassy operating as a command center was rubbish, and that the network was trying to build an untrue narrative of cooperation between Assange and Russia to ensure the public supports his eventual fate. And I agree, that would be something right up CNN's alley. It's the most deceptive mainstream outlet. These people have a very tenuous relationship with the truth. Hell, I doubt they even know what the truth even is anymore. But seriously, what CNN and other media are saying is rubbish, but we're used to it. They are prepping for the show. The reason is when they extradite Assange to the U.S. and sentence him to life, they want the honest backing of the public. They are setting the stage. They don't want any outcry. That sounds very reasonable. Correa compared CNN's assertions about Assange to its claims about weapons of mass destruction in the lead-up to the Iraq War in 2003. Media manipulation which was used to make Americans applaud a war. Right. CNN was responsible for that. CNN was responsible for everyone trying to get the left against Donald Trump and praising Hillary Clinton all damn day. They're all kinds of dishonest, sort of modified journalism, where they modify the facts to fit a narrative. It's classic. Now to justify the assassination of Assange or to extradite him, they are conducting a new narrative about a fake command center for election meddling, he said. Correa also denied claims made by the other media that he had a direct telephone line with Assange in the embassy. In reality, he said he only spoke to Assange once, when the WikiLeaks founder interviewed him for his show on RT. Correa said that CNN's claims about illicit activities in the London embassy were not confirmed by actual evidence, but based on the report by U.S. Special Counsel Robert Mueller into so-called Russian interference and disproven collusion with the Trump campaign. The former Ecuadorian leader also dismissed claims made by CNN that it was pressure from U.S. authorities that forced Quito to cut off Assange's internet and phone access. If such a threat from the U.S. had come to me, I assure you that I would not have taken any action because we do not accept this kind of pressure. In Correa's opinion, Assange was justified in publishing damaging material about Clinton because it was true. But he also said that publishing about one candidate and not the other was kind of manipulation. I agree. That's deliberately incomplete information. That is highly manipulative. It's obvious that Assange was a Trump supporter, but he was not manipulating the election. That's bullshit. Prove it or shut the hell up. When Assange was arrested by British police and dragged out of the Ecuadorian embassy in April, Correa slammed his successor, Lenin Moreno, as the greatest traitor in Ecuadorian and Latin American history for having allowed it to happen, adding that Assange's arrest was a crime that humanity will never forget. CNN even attempted to implicate RT in the whole conspiracy by including in the story a long-debunked theory that this network was in cahoots and coordinating behind the scenes with WikiLeaks simply because it reported on a new document dump which was posted on the website before the whistleblowing site tweeted out a link to the information. They were simply reporting on WikiLeaks' activities. They were sharing information so that more people could know about it. It's what journalists do. Not that CNN would understand that. The mainstream media is full of crap. They're always spinning some alternative to the truth or some narrative just to get what they want. And many people have even blown the whistle on CNN saying that many of their journalists are Democratic activists. Not like necessarily like super radicalized, but just trying to help the Democrats win. You're supposed to be journalists. You're supposed to be unbiased. But you show such little capacity for unbiased, honest news. CNN, fuck you. See ya, folks.